I'm starting a tour of the US, covering about 6 galleries and spending about 10 days in each one, and this painting is the one that I'll be working on in each of those galleries. I live on a 58,000-acre cattle ranch in the Great Rift Valley in Kenya, and from the veranda of our house, if I look to the east, I can see the Aberdare Mountains about 40 miles away. These mountains are the subject of this painting. The Aberdare Mountain Conservation Area covers about 480 square miles and rises to a height of 14,500 feet. It includes the Aberdare National Park, which is the highest national park in Africa. It's home to many species of animals and birds, and is also one of the last remaining large areas of indigenous unspoiled forest in East Africa. Some years ago I painted a panoramic picture of a waterhole in the hot country of Tanzania, which featured a number of different species, and since then I've always wanted to do another one, a similar one, featuring a waterhole in the high mountains in the forest area. And so we're up in the Aberdare Mountain National Park, and we've been looking for that ideal waterhole, and I think we found it. We spent about a week sitting quietly with sketchbooks and watercolor pads and cameras, recording as much as possible and soaking up the sounds and the smells and just the whole feeling of that magic place. Having got back home, back to the ranch, then I start to put this whole thing together. And I start by doing a master drawing. Having then got that drawing absolutely to the way I want it, then I grid it, and then I grid this canvas and transfer everything onto the canvas in pencil. And then I put on this very rough coat on this 28-inch by 84-inch canvas. So what you see here is that first very rough coat. In this little corner here on the top left, this is what I've already worked on as my second and final coat. In other words, I put in all the detail of the trees, and that's what I have to do right the way across this canvas. The animals in this painting are elephants, warthogs, giant forest hog, Cape buffalo, black rhino, bongo antelope, and bushbuck. Also there are 2 types of monkeys, sykes and colobus, and several different species of birds. In the 70s, when the poaching of elephants and rhinos was at its worst, it was decided that to put a fence around this Aberdare National Park. This was to provide a sanctuary for the last remaining rhinos and translocate the ones that could be found into that area. It was a very ambitious and costly project. About 10 years ago, my brother Rob started an off-road motor rally called the Rhino Charge, which was designed to raise money for this fence. It was also designed for people to have a lot of fun. This year I was able for the first time to compete in that rally, and out of the 50 cars which in the event we came 8th, and it really was a lot of fun. And the great thing was, at the end of it, we had raised something in the region of $250,000 for the fence. More importantly of all, perhaps, is the fact that the forest itself, this precious, beautiful indigenous forest, is being saved from illegal logging, which is happening all over the rest of Africa. If you cut down the forest on this mountain, that's the end. The water will stop, and it'll be a total tragedy. I guess about the only other thing I'd like to say is that this painting is for sale.